we missed him for a few years.
That shot right there, that gets me. What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I've shown my face. I've been buried in editing, but I figured I'd hop on here quick and do a little Benzema magic. By the way, they say creativity comes from having a child's mindset. So what other better way to do it than to drink stuff that you had when you were a kid? Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd just go ahead and review a film and kind of walk you through the decisions that went into creating the video and kind of the reasoning behind certain sequences, certain parts of the film. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Here we go. So this is actually my brother's wedding, and the way I started the film is with some audio snippets. One thing that was a big part of the day was the weather, and there's this whole back and forth like all day, like, hey, we're gonna have the wedding inside, we're gonna have it outside, all the way up until like 50 minutes before the ceremony they finally pulled the trigger. And I wanted a way to show that, and so I went through and found some audio snippets where they were talking about like the rain and the weather, and so that's why I started with this.
Do you think we need to be inside? Ben's saying maybe inside. If we stay outside, people are going to get wet.
So I decided to overlay it with, like, I could have just, it would have just been a black screen with audio. I could have done maybe words or something, but I felt like I didn't need to do words. So what I did is I take this, I bring this camcorder to weddings, and I give it to the wedding party, and I just say, hey, go ahead and record some stuff, and I have this air tag on it so I can find it at the end of the night. And so usually I can find some pretty fun stuff. So I first started with a clip of the person that had the camcorder the most, just to establish that, like, hey, this is camcorder footage. But what I ended up doing was I just kind of went through a montage of shots, but there are also a few shots in here that look like camcorder footage that were actually camera footage. The way you can tell is because there's some depth, like people in the background aren't in focus. There's a few shots in here like that. But a lot of it is camcorder footage. And I just kind of wanted to show a montage of the day. Now, something unique about this part right here. So I didn't have any, where's it at? This right here. So I didn't have any footage of the radar, but this was the radar, and we were like over here. We were like skimming by. We were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have inside and outside, and this venue was like right here, and it just kept kind of riding north like that. I didn't have any footage of the radar like this, so I ended up going to this website to look at like past radars, and I couldn't figure out a way to like download it, so I had to like screen record it, but I couldn't just hit play and it would play the radar. I had to go click. I had to like click it manually multiple times to get a sequence of shots to make it look like the radar was in motion. But this was the weather from that day. But yeah. And then I created this waveform in After Effects, just to show which audio was being played, like which audio it was tying to.
Do you think we need to be inside? Ben's saying maybe inside. If we stay outside, people are going to get wet.
Wait, you think it's gonna hold up?
Yeah.
Dad.
Outside, inside, what are we doing?
I wish
Dad, what are you
I don't
thinking?
know.
What does the rain look like?
I have a feeling that if we went inside, it won't happen, but if we stay outside, it will happen. I'm very sad about the outside thing.
Yeah. You know what?
Whatever.
We did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful.
Sometimes life throws us curveballs, and we just have to adapt. And to be fair, if you look, who is that handsome young man? Anyway, so right here, I'm essentially bringing an all-round circle, and I'm saying, hey, so this is my brother's wedding. I got to officiate it. So that was pretty exciting. But I was at the very beginning of the ceremony, I was so stressed because everyone was so like, I was so worried that my like lighthearted ceremony wasn't gonna be as great. So I wanted a way to kind of ease into it by saying like, hey, it's okay that we have this indoor ceremony. So that this was my opening remark, talking about the rain and the weather.
So beautiful.
Sometimes life throws us curveballs and we just have to adapt. And to be fair, if you look outside right now, I think we made the right decision. So I had my buddy Reed Shepherd Films. He filmed this for me. We had Tyler Vandaloom help too, because I was in the wedding. But he made sure to get an outside shot so that I could show like and it was crazy. The timing was insane. Like as soon as the ceremony started, it started raining outside. And the location is the least important part of today. So when I said the location, because they were so excited to have their ceremony out by this tree at Corberry Farms. It's a beautiful location ceremony. And it is kind of heartbreaking when you have all this stuff set and you imagine how it's going to be, and then you can't have it there. So I went to the rehearsal, and these were just some iPhone videos. One of them, this was actually a live photo, and so I turned the live photo into a little video snippet. And I just wanted to show it to be like, hey, this is where we were going to get married. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but we still were able to experience it at the rehearsal. So yeah, I think we made the right decision. And the location is the least important part of today. Look where you're standing. Look at the people that are standing by your side. And remember this moment in time. This is something you'll remember for the rest of your lives. Now, this rain shot, this rain shot is kind of referencing two things. So I'm saying in this, so right there, what I say is, remember this moment in time. So first I'm referring to them at this ceremony, the people that are surrounding them, this whole moment. But then I'm also saying, remember this. Remember that it was a rainy day, but you guys still smiled. You still had an amazing day. Remember that.
Matthias, I am trusting you with one of my most precious gifts. Please.
Then I wanted to dive into speeches. And I tried to share little snippets from each thing. So you can kind of hear that audio was captured on the day, and you get a good idea of what to expect.
Continue to be her warrior. Don't hesitate to go to battle for Ashley. Be her protector.
This shot right here is so satisfying to me. So Ashley has two moms. So this mom gave a speech, and then I wanted to show a reaction of her other mom during her mom's speech. So I cut to this shot, and it was a good reaction, but there was a moment where a flash was taken. And so just to make it a little more satisfying, I put the flash right where the ping sound is on the song, so that it kind of feels like it flows.
Continue to be her warrior. Don't hesitate to go to battle for Ashley. Be her protector. Keep her safe from harm.
And then I showed her dance with her two moms.
Be her champion. Be her dragon slayer.
I felt like this little musical like drum bridge was a great opportunity to show just a few details.
And to see your face light up the way it did today, Ashley, you look so beautiful, and I'm so happy for you.
So mom's first speech, I felt like that was a good establisher to be like, hey, Matthias, this person that you're marrying, she's incredibly special to me. I felt like that was a good opener. Like, this is significant. And then it goes to her man of honor, Dominic, and he says, seeing your face light up made me incredibly happy. That's still tied in with the first one. And I felt like that was just like a good, really quick summary of Ashley.
And to see your face light up the way it did today, Ashley, you look so beautiful, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank you for bringing back Matt's smile.
And then there's this kind of similar thing about how Ashley like just brought life into my brother. And my mom and dad's speech, I felt like tied really well together. This is my dad's speech at the rehearsal, my mom's speech here. So I put them right next to each other to kind of establish like that we're thankful for Ashley.
Ashley, you look so beautiful, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank you for bringing back Matt's smile and helping him come out of his shell. We missed him for a few years.
That shot right there, that gets me. Seeing my brother smile like that is incredibly heartwarming. But yeah, so that's why I tied it with the shot
Thank
of
you
my
for
mom and
bringing
my
back
brother,
Matt's
that intimate
smile
moment.
and helping him come out of his shell. We missed him for a few years.
Ashley, you have brought a new life in our son, Matt.
So that's just another example. And you can see my brother just trying to hold it together there.
Matthias.
Love is not.
And then this is my dad and my stepmom, and I felt like that was a great way to establish their relationship. And how like my parents are both remarried, and
About how often you say I love you, but how.
and then this was the best man speech, and he had a quote at the very end of his speech that I felt just well-rounded everything here that I felt would be perfect for their teaser.
Often you show that it's.
So he's just giving like kind of a round quote that just says, "Hey, this is it. This is why we're here," sort of thing.
Not about how often you.
Ashley, you have brought a new life in our son, Matt. Matthias.
Love is not about how often you say I love you, but how often you show that it's true. To the bride and groom.
That shot right there is a perfect way of saying it's about how much you show that it's true. So rather than saying I love you, that's them physically hugging, showing each other that they love each other.
Not about how often you say I love you, but how often you show that it's true. To the bride and groom.
Okay, so this is probably my favorite part of the film. This is the one that usually like gives me chills. I felt like this whole thing where he said it's about how much you show that it's true. Rather, it's not about how much you say that. It's not about how much you say it, but how much you show that it's true. And I felt like this would be a great opportunity at this climax part of the song. I include shots of like their friends and their family just showing how supportive they are of this marriage, how happy they are for them. So I felt like this was an incredibly great moment to show like a ton of smiles, a ton of excitement, just to show that support.
Say I love you, but how often you show that it's true. To the bride and groom.
So yeah, after showing the support and love stuff, I thought it'd be great to just go into a couple portraits of them too, just to show like, yeah, this is who we're supporting. And show them like their goofy side. Yeah, there's a couple portraits, but then there's also their goofy side. And then I thought I'd reveal just like an intimate moment from their day, not reveal their whole first look, just like a little bit of it, and kind of just showing them like, I feel like this kind of a hug is just one of those hugs that's just so real. Like, yeah, there's like everyone hugs people and they're great, but that's like an embrace, like that's like my safety embrace. When I look at that kind of a hug right there, it's just like, oh my gosh, finally. And I thought that was a great moment to go into this like intimate part of their vows.
Matthias, today and every day I choose you to be my husband. Today I say I do, but also say I will. Today and every day I will continue to choose you.
You have opened my eyes to a kind of love that very few people feel, or understand. Of all the places where we have traveled and everything we have seen together, your happiness is my favorite sight.
So I felt like that thing he said there was just like a great, like, a very powerful thing that would be a nice way to end the dialogue in their teaser. This freaking fly was so bad that when he finalized that saying, the fly lands like on his eyelid. So I had to cut to a reaction of her because I wasn't gonna be able to use that shot just because the fly landing on his eye.
And of all the places where we have traveled and everything we have seen together, your happiness is my favorite sight.
So this is my brother's daughter from a previous relationship. So Ashley came into this marriage knowing that he had a daughter. And this is kind of what will be a lot of the foundation of their highlight film. A lot of things that were touched on throughout the day was talking about the support. Just it was a pretty emotional part. They did a first look with my brother and his daughter, and so that's why I'm kind of ending it with this, so that it's kind of like, hey, all of this kind of been built on this structure, this family dynamic right here. So I felt like this would be a great way to end it. Now, I don't want the whole wedding film to feel like it's about all three of them. So I wanted to make sure I ended it with just an intimate moment between them two. So that it kind of brings it back to saying like, hey, this is a story about these two, not all three of these, not all them two and his daughter, just them two. So this was the last song of the night, and it was just like very kind of emotional. I think they were both crying, and it was just one of those, like I said, from their first look, it was just like an embrace moment. And I wanted to end it. The way she looks at the camera right there was just more of a like, this is my guy right here. This is my guy. And I felt like that was a great way to fade out. And there we go. Let's watch it back one more time and just kind of see how you feel about it.
Do you think we need to be inside? Ben's saying maybe inside. If we stay outside, people are going to get wet.
Wait, you think it's gonna hold up?
Yeah.
Dad.
Outside, inside, what are we doing?
I wish
Dad, what are you
I don't
thinking?
know.
What does the rain look like?
I have a feeling that if we went inside, it won't happen, but if we stay outside, it will happen. I'm very sad about the outside thing.
Yeah. You know what?
Whatever.
We did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful.
Sometimes life throws us curveballs and we just have to adapt. And to be fair, if you look outside right now, I think we made the right decision. And the location is the least important part of today. Look where you're standing. Look at the people that are standing by your side. And remember this moment in time. This is something you'll remember for the rest of your lives.
Matthias, I am trusting you with one of my most precious gifts. Please continue to be her warrior. Don't hesitate to go to battle for Ashley. Be her protector. Keep her safe from harm. Be her champion. Be her dragon slayer.
And to see your face light up the way it did today, Ashley, you look so beautiful, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank you for bringing back Matt's smile and helping him come out of his shell. We missed him for a few years.
Ashley, you have brought a new life in our son, Matthias.
Love is not about how often you say I love you, but how often you show that it's true. To the bride and groom.
Matthias, today and every day I choose you to be my husband. Today I say I do, but also say I will. Today and every day I will continue to choose you.
You have opened my eyes to a kind of love that very few people feel or understand. Of all the places where we have traveled and everything we have seen together, your happiness is my favorite sight.
Well, there you have it. There's just an inside look at how I create a film and the decisions that go into it. All right, I gotta get back to editing, so we'll see you guys later.